In one corner, the Louisville Lip, the man who floated like a butterfly, stung like a bee, and danced his way into immortality, Muhammad Ali Dot in the other, a chiseled warrior from Watford, an Olympic gold medalist, unified heavyweight champion, and the face of modern British boxing, Anthony Joshua. Different eras, different styles, but the same weight on their shoulders, greatness. So what happens when a man born in the ashes of the civil rights struggle faces off against a champion molded in the high-performance labs of the 21st century? This is the fight between legacy and evolution. Act 1, the tale of two champions. Ali was not just a fighter, he was poetry in motion. At 6 feet 3, with a reach of 78 inches, he broke all the heavyweight rules. He danced, he taunted, he dodged punches like a matador. At his peak in the 1960s, Ali was untouchable, a tornado of speed, confidence, and genius ring IQ. Anthony Joshua. He's the product of precision, 6'6", 240 pounds of sculpted muscle, thunder in both fists, and a chin tested by legends. His knockout of Wladimir Klitschko was more than a win. It was his rite of passage into heavyweight folklore, a disciplined, calculated fighter. When he boxes, you feel the weight of every movement, controlled violence. But what happens when lightning meets the storm? ACT 2. Fight night. The crowd is electric. Wembley Stadium, 90,000 strong, a sea of fans, chanting the names that echo across the generations. Ali, entering first, robes flowing, eyes dancing, grinning wide. He glides to the ring like he's already won. Joshua follows, stoic, focused, walking slowly to the sound of pounding drums and flashing lights, a lion about to enter his cage. The bell rings. Round 1. Ali wastes no time. He circles Joshua. Instantly, feet light, hands low, flicking the jab like a whip. He talks to him, taunts him, making the crowd laugh mid-fight. Joshua keeps his guard high. He doesn't take the bait. He throws a measured jab. Ali leans back, smirking. You'll have to be faster than that, champ. But Joshua isn't here. The play games. Act 3. Styles collide. Round 3. Ali has made one thing clear. You can't catch what you can't see. He's tagging Joshua from awkward angles, slipping between punches, sticking and moving with maddening rhythm. But Joshua is patient. He's studied tape. He knows Ali likes to dominate mentally before physically, so he doesn't overextend. He bides his time. Then, in round 4, the tide shifts. Joshua fights the jab and fires a monstrous right hook. Boom. Ali's head snaps sideways. The first real connection. The crowd gasps. Ali grins. But behind the smile, there's pain. Joshua smells blood. He pushes forward. Another right. A left to the ribs. Ali clinches. The power difference is real. Act 4. Ali digs deep. Round 6. Ali is slowing. His legs aren't bouncing like before. Joshua's pressure, strength, and body shots are taking their toll. But this is Ali, the man who outlasted Foreman. In Zaire, the man who absorbed Frazier's left hooks and kept standing. He whispers to Joshua in the clinch, "You're strong, but you ain't smart enough." And suddenly, Ali shifts tactics. He ropes Joshua into overcommitting. He rolls with punches, counters with lightning jabs and sharp hooks. A flurry in round 7 rocks AJ. A clean left snaps his head back. Another lands flush. Joshua backs off. Ali's rhythm returns. He's not just boxing now. He's performing. Act 5. The war rages on. Middle rounds become a chess match. Joshua controls the center of the ring. Ali dances around it. AJ throws fewer punches, but everyone is loaded with dynamite. Ali lands more shots, but they sting more than they hurt. Round 9. Both men are bleeding. Ali's eye is swelling. Joshua's nose is leaking. This isn't just a boxing match. It's a clash of timelines. Minus 1,965 versus 20-5. Every round is a history lesson. Every exchange is a battle for narrative. Act 6. The final rounds. Round 10. Ali digs into his soul. He starts firing combinations, jab, cross, hook, then glides out of range. His hands drop. He dares Joshua to swing. AJ does. A massive right hand misses by an inch. Ali counters. Boom. Left-right combo. Joshua stumbles for the first time. He looks unsure. Round 11. The ghost of Manila haunts the ring. Ali walks through shots now. He's hurt, but refusing to fall. Joshua's gas tank is depleting. That muscle, once his armor, is now a weight dragging him down. Ali sees the opening. He unloads, jab, jab, cross, uppercut. Joshua clinches. They're both exhausted. Act 7, the final bell, round 12. The crowd is standing. Ollie is still dancing. Barely. Joshua is still punching. Barely. To champions. No quit, no fear. The bell rings, and Wembley erupts. Act 8. Who really won? The decision is split. One judge gives it to Joshua for the knockdowns and damage. One judge gives it to Ollie for the volume and ring control. And the third, split draw, boos, cheers, shot, respect. The fighters meet in the center. Ollie raises Joshua's hand. Joshua bows to Ollie. The past and the present meet in peace, outpouring truth. Boxing isn't just about fists. It's about identity, psychology, legacy. Ollie was the mind. Joshua was the machine. Ollie taunted you, tricked you, and beat you with style. Joshua studied you, cracked you, and beat you with structure. Who wins? It depends on the lens you look through. But one thing's certain. When Muhammad Ali and Anthony Joshua step into the same ring, boxing wins. Act 9. The echoes of Legacy are calm, but powerful. The dust settles in the ring, but the debate only begins. Ollie, in his corner, speaks to his team. He's strong, but I've danced with monsters, fought the government, fought war itself. This was just another man. Joshua, breathing heavy, speaks to his coach. He's slick. I've never felt that kind of presence. It's like he saw my punches before I threw them. This wasn't just about punches or rounds. It was about the generations watching, about the fans who grew up idolizing one and those who became inspired by the other. This was boxing's past, daring to test the future. Act 10, breaking down the battle. Let's analyze what really happened. Speed and footwork. Ollie's greatest weapon wasn't his jab, it was his legs. His ability to stay just out of range, glide along the ropes, and change angles with ballet-like grace through Joshua. Off rhythm all night. When AJ planted his feet to throw, Ollie was gone. Power and timing. But Joshua wasn't swinging blindly. He waited. He measured. And when he did connect, you felt it in your bones. His right-handed round four might have dropped any other man. But Ollie rolled with it. Took the heat. Laughed it off. Ring IQ. Ollie's genius showed in the late rounds. He studied Joshua. Set traps. Goaded him into missing. Used fights like daggers, mental pressure like a slow choke, stamina and willpower. By round 10, AJ's explosive style was catching up with him. That shredded physique comes at a cost. Ollie, bruised and tired, kept moving, breathing, talking. He never let the fatigue show because he knew the war wasn't just physical, it was psychological. Act 11, behind the masks. Let's talk about who they were beyond the gloves. Ollie, at his core, was more than a fighter. He was a symbol, a voice, a rebel who stood against war, against racism, against silence. Every time he fought, it wasn't just for titles, it was for something bigger. When he entered the ring, he brought the weight of a movement, the charisma, the clever rhymes, the flamboyant interviews. They weren't just for show, they were his armor, his battlefield strategy. He fought with identity. Joshua, on the other hand, is the epitome of modern professionalism, humble, structured, media trained, built in the system, but still admired by millions for his comeback stories. After losing to Ruiz, he rebuilt, adjusted, learned. That kind of evolution speaks volumes. He may not talk like Ollie, but he lets his fist write his story. Act 12, the post-fight interview. Ollie at the mic, smiling despite the swollen eye. He hit hard. That boy can punch, but it takes more than muscles to beat me. You can't knock out a ghost. And tonight, I was the ghost of every legend that came before. Joshua, respectful but proud, I shared the ring with a myth. But tonight, he became a man, and I stood toe-to-toe with him. That's a victory in itself. The crowd chants both names, Ollie, Joshua, Ollie, Joshua. This wasn't a fight that divided, it united. Two eras, one ring. Act 13, if they fought again, the fantasy grows. Would a rematch favor Joshua? With better preparation, more aggression, and fewer mind games? Or would Ollie adapt again, the way he did against Frazier, against Norton, against Liston? Ollie was a master of the rematch. He solved problems. He learned. He returned sharper. But Joshua, too, is no stranger to evolution. The man who lost to Ruiz was not the same man who beat him in the rematch. So if these two collided again, it wouldn't just be a continuation. It would be a new war. Act 14. What the legend Say Mike Tyson once said, Ollie's the greatest. No one could beat him in his prime. Not even me. Lennox Lewis said of Joshua, he's got the tools. He's learning. But greatness is about consistency. So where does this fantasy leave us? If Ollie fought Joshua 10 times, maybe he wins 7. Maybe Joshua clips him once or twice. But boxing doesn't live in the world of averages. It lives in the world of the one night that defines you. And that night might just belong to Ollie. Act 15. The fans disdain now. It's your turn. Do you believe the old school movement, mind games, and magic of Ollie would have outclassed Joshua's modern power and discipline? Or do you believe today's training, sports science, and raw strength would have broken even the greatest? Let us know in the comments. Because while the ring may be silent, the debate never ends. Final scene. Closing cinematic slow motion replay. Ollie slipping a jab. Joshua landing across. Sweat flying. Blood dripping. Gloves colliding. Eyes locked in eternal combat. Freeze frame. Ollie with his arm raised. Joshua still standing. 2 champions. 1 sport. 1 legacy. Narrator final words. Some fights are measured in rounds. Others are measured in eternity. This was one of them. Muhammad Ali versus Anthony Joshua. When grace met power. Act 16. The alternate universe image in this fight. Not in Wembley, but in Kinshasa, Zaire. The same ring where Ollie danced with the demon George Foreman under a hot African sky. The chants of Ali Bame echo again. How would Joshua respond to that madness, or flip it? Place the fight in modern Las Vegas with billion-dollar lights, instant replays, and punch stats on screen. No more mystery, just data and science. Would all these tricks work in an age of analytics? Boxing changes with time, but greatness, it travels. And both men, no matter the city, crowd, or year, would show up to fight. Act 17. The men behind the myths we've seen the fighters. Now look deeper. Ollie, born Cassius Clay, was molded in the time when every win meant something beyond a belt. When he beat Sonny Liston, it wasn't just an upset, it was a rebellion. When he said, I am the greatest, it wasn't arrogance, it was defiance. He wasn't fighting just opponents. He was fighting racism, war, silence. Joshua, born in Watford to Nigerian parents, carries a quieter kind of strength. A man who once got in trouble as a teen, turned his life around, and wore the flag with pride. A man who stood back up after defeats and never made excuses. He's not only on the mic, but in the gym, in the grind. He's all heart. One man punched history, the other punches through expectation. Act 18. Fans divided. A united scroll through any boxing forum after this fantasy fight. Some fans scream, Ollie would have danced circles around AJ. Others fired back. Joshua would crush him in 6 rounds. Too strong, too modern. But deep down, there's respect on both sides. Because whether you're Team Ollie or Team AJ, you love the same thing. A fight that means something. A clash that stirs the soul. Makes you feel like a kid again. That's what this matchup gave us. Wonder. Act 19. Legacy checkman. Let's talk GOAT status. Ollie B. Frazier, Foreman, Liston, Norton, Patterson. Legends stacked like dominoes. He lost, yes, but came back. Always came back. His resume is a museum. Joshua still writing his. Wins over Klitschko, White, Parker, Povetkin, Ruiz. They're solid, but not mythical. Not yet. If he had beaten Ollie, that alone might have launched him into legendary orbit. But that's the difference. Ollie was already there. Joshua was still climbing the mountain. Beating Ollie isn't just about fighting. It's about surviving myth. And few can do that. Act 20. The ending we didn't see. What if Ollie landed a perfect counter in round 10? What if Joshua's chin didn't hold? Or what if Joshua went full seek and destroy in round 4, cut off the ring, and trapped Ollie on the ropes? This fight had no true winner, just echoes. What we saw was balance, the speed of the past versus the strength of the future. The split draw wasn't a cop dash out, it was poetry, because sometimes the most beautiful ending is the one where both warriors walk out alive, arms raised, legacies untouched. Act 21. Final voiceover, closed narrator, emotional, reflective. In a sport where only one can win, sometimes The real victory is in the story. In the bravery to imagine. To dream. To debate. To wonder. What if the greatest faced the giant? And the answer, they both stood tall. One floated. One stormed. Both left their mark, not just on the ring, but on us. Act 22, closing quotes. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. Muhammad Ali. Stay hungry, stay humble. Anthony Joshua. Both men lived by these words, and if they'd ever met in the ring, those philosophies would have clashed. One with fire, the other with steel, and both with grace. Act 23, the legacy lives on as the lights go out in Wembley. The world still buzzes, kids shadowbox in their bedrooms, imagining their Ali dodging jabs. Others hit the heavy bag like Joshua, dreaming of knockouts. This fight didn't happen, but it lives in the minds of fans. And highlight reels made from fantasy. In the spirit of boxing, because the best fights aren't always real. They're the ones that make you feel. Act 24, the trainers speak. Angelo Dundee, Ali's legendary trainer, standing at ringside, towel over shoulder, eyes still sharp. He was never supposed to win these kinds of fights. Too skinny, too flashy, but look what he did. He made a monster. Miss, he made the world believe again. Rob McCracken, Joshua's longtime coach, measured and grounded, steps to the mic. Joshua followed the plan. He didn't let the circus rattle him. He boxed, he banged, he stood toe-to-toe with a myth and didn't blink. In this fight, the corners were like time machines, one built on instinct and heart, the other on structure and science. Both worked, both failed, both survived. Act 25, a moment in the locker room. Ali, sitting on the bench, wraps being cut from his fists. A purple welt blooms beneath his eye. He looks up at the ceiling, silent. Suddenly, he smiles. That boy had thunder, but thunder don't hit what it can't catch. His team laughs. In the other locker room, Joshua sips water, towel around his shoulders, head bowed. I touched him, I hurt him, but I didn't break him. And in that moment, both men understand something powerful. They didn't defeat each other, they measured each other, and that's far more rare. Act 26, media frenzied headlines explode. Ali dances, Joshua drops bombs, instant classic. Old school meets new school in legendary draw. No winner declared, but boxing wins big. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all flooded. One fan tweets, Ali's footwork is unreal. He made AJ look like he was stuck in concrete. Another fires back, you kidding? Joshua shook the greatest with one punch. That power is not from this era. Debates rage, podcasts explode. Old fans claim vindication, new fans demand EMATCHES. The fight, it's over. The conversation, just beginning. Act 27, legends weigh in. George Foreman, grinning wide, chuckles on ESPN. I hit Ali with everything I had, and he beat me. Joshua, he gave Ali trouble, no doubt. But beating him, that's a different mountain. Tyson Fury, in a velvet robe, sipping tea. I'd love a shot at either of them. Ali's IQ, Joshua's power, but I'm the Gypsy King, mate. I'd outbox both. Lennox Lewis, diplomatic as always. It's not about who's better, it's about who adapted, and both men showed they belong in any era. Even Mike Tyson speaks up. Ali's mind is scary. Joshua's body is scary, but only one can make. You quit before the first punch lands, and that was Ali. Act 28, back to the ring only a month later. A tribute night is held in Vegas. A hologram of Ali's prime dances on the screen. Next to it, Joshua's shadow boxes live. Old meets new. Again, Ali's daughter speaks. My father believed in testing limits. Tonight, you all witnessed a limit get pushed. Joshua takes the mic. I didn't win. I didn't lose. I shared history. I touched legend. And the crowd erupts for one more night. Boxing is pure again. Act 29. Time's judgment years pass. Young boxers come up, inspired by both. Some mimic Ali's footwork. Others train for Joshua's strength. Documentaries are made. Statistical analysis videos compare jabs per round, punch absorption, foot speed, chin resistance. But there's one stat they'll never calculate. Heart. Ali's heart was infinite. It stood in the face of bombs and never broke. Joshua's heart was carved through defeat, rebuilt with silence and hardened in fire. Together, they remind us that champions aren't made in rounds. They're made in how they get back up. Act 30, the final word. Narrator soft, fading tone. There will always be another prospect, another king, another knockout artist, but there will never be another Ali, and there may never again be a gentleman gladiator like Joshua. This wasn't about past versus present. This was about possibility, and that possibility lives on in every gym, every dream, every whisper of what if Muhammad Ali versus Anthony Joshua. Not just a fantasy, a reminder that boxing, at its best, isn't just sport. It's storytelling, and this story will be told forever. Act 31. Beyond the ropes narrator, quiet, thoughtful. Boxing matches are judged by punches landed, but the greatest fights are measured by souls stirred. What Ali versus Joshua left behind wasn't just bruised bodies or scorecards. It left a feeling. Silence, like standing in front of a painting that moves you, but you don't know why. Ali was the painter, flamboyant, abstract, emotional. Joshua was the sculpture, carved, balanced, exact. Together, they created a masterpiece that transcended generations. Act 32, global reaction. Lagos, Nigeria. In open-air bars, fans cheered with pride for AJ, the Nigerian-British warrior who brought honor to his roots. Louisville, Kentucky, Ali's hometown, turned into a celebration of legacy. Old-timers wept. Children shadowboxed in the streets, shouting, "I am the greatest." London, debates lit up sports networks. Pundits asked, has any British heavyweight ever faced someone like that? The answer, likely not. New York, Tokyo, Manila, Johannesburg, everyone watched. Because this wasn't a title fight. It was time travel, a mythical window into what could be, if eras could talk. Act 33, the letter. Weeks later, Anthony Joshua receives a letter. An imagined one, written not by Ali, but by the spirit of Ali. A letter that speaks to all future fighters. Dear brother in battle, I see your scars. Wear them proudly. I see your silence. Break it only when the world needs it. I see your fists. May they always be tools of honor. You
Devil faces off against a champion molded in the high-performance labs of the 21st century. This is the fight between legacy and evolution. Act 1, the tale of two champions. Ali was not just a fighter. He was poetry in motion. At 6 feet 3 inches, with a reach of 78 inches, he broke all the heavyweight rules. He danced. He taunted. He dodged punches like a matador. At his peak in the 1960s, Ali was untouchable, a tornado of speed, confidence, and genius ring IQ. Anthony Joshua? He's the product of precision. 6 feet 6 inches, 240 pounds of sculpted muscle, thunder in both fists, and a chin tested by legends. His knockout of Vladimir Klitschko was more than a win, it was his rite of passage into heavyweight folklore. A disciplined, calculated fighter. When he boxes, you feel the weight of every movement. Controlled violence. But what happens when lightning meets the storm? Act 2, Fight Night. The crowd is electric. Wembley Stadium. 90,000 strong. A sea of fans chanting two names that echo across the generations. Ali, entering first, robes flowing, eyes dancing, grinning wide. He glides to the ring like he's already won. Joshua follows, stoic, focused, walking slowly to the sound of pounding drums and flashing lights. A lion about to enter his cage. The bell rings. Round 1. Ali wastes no time. He circles Joshua instantly, feet light, hands low, flicking the jab like a whip. He talks to him, taunts him, making the crowd laugh mid-fight. Joshua keeps his guard high. He doesn't take the bait. He throws a measured jab. Ali leans back, smirking. You'll have to be faster than that, champ. But Joshua isn't here to play games. Act 3, styles collide. By round 3, Ali has made one thing clear, you can't catch what you can't see. He's tagging Joshua from awkward angles, slipping between punches, sticking and moving with maddening rhythm. But Joshua is patient. He's studied tape. He knows Ali likes to dominate mentally before physically. So he doesn't overextend. He bides his time. Then, in round 4, the tide shifts. Joshua feints the jab and fires a monstrous right hook. Boom! Ali's head snaps sideways. The first real connection. The crowd gasps. Ali grins. But behind the smile, there's pain. Joshua smells blood. He pushes forward. Another right. A left to the ribs. Ali clinches. The power difference is real.
Fans cheered with pride for AJ, the Nigerian-British warrior who brought honor to his roots. Louisville, Kentucky, all his hometown, turned into a celebration of legacy. Old-timers wept. Children shadowboxed in the streets, shouting, "I am the greatest." London, debates lit up sports networks. Pundits asked, has any British heavyweight ever faced someone like that? The answer, likely not. New York, Tokyo, Manila, Johannesburg, everyone watched. Because this wasn't a title fight. It was time travel. A mythical window into what could be.